So, we all live in a democratic society. Pero bilang mga mamamayan nito, meron ba tayong responsibilities na ginagawa beyond the elections? With me today are some of my colleagues. Ako si Jetro mula sa Philo Division.
Hi, I'm Cassie.
Sir B.
I'm Yula.
And today we will be talking about the responsibilities in democracy.
Siguro magandang magsimula sa tanong na ano nga ba ang demokrasya? What is democracy?
Yeah, I agree.
So isa sa mga pwede kasi nating pagmulan dyan is yung etymology talaga ng term. The Greek origin from demos meaning people and kratos meaning yung power. So in its most literal sense, democracy is about the power of governance residing in the people. So isa yun siguro sa mga magandang definitions na pagsimulan natin.
So, kumbaga essentially, pag sinabing democracy, it is a type or system of governance kung saan when we make policies or when we undertake certain projects, the power is either directly or indirectly from the people towards the representatives who they elected in the government.
Democracy is the worst type of government. Sabi ni Churchill,
Okay.
the worst type of government until you explore all the options.
No. Well, for me, actually, it was yesterday's conversation that had highlighted this idea that it's not just, democracy is not just an idea and a concept. This is what I've learned from the two of you and with Bernard as well. And that the other thing is that it's also, we might also want to highlight the people's engagement. So it's not only an idea, an ideal, or a concept, but it is also a practice. So because we're doing or we are incorporating practice into our understanding of democracy, parang mas madaling gumalaw or sabihin sana makibaka, but no, kumilos sa isang komunidad kung saan democracy might be the ideal or the framework, the political framework.
So, all in all, nag-agree tayo na this is a good type of governance, at least dahil ostensibly it's about what we as the public want to have, no? And then we make efforts, no, para ma-achieve natin yun. And isa sa mga pinakasimpleng paraan kung paano nga natin nakikita yun is through electing our representatives, no, as was earlier stated. So, we do express our democratic right to vote when it comes to elections, no? We express kung sino-sino yung mga gusto nating mag-represent sa atin sa Congress, sa Senate, or in other houses across the state. Pero one important question that we want to answer, no, in this discussion is hanggang doon lang ba siya? Hanggang voting lang ba yung democracy? Highlighting nga na democracy being a practice, no? Ano yung overall practice ng democracy na gusto natin gawin?
Yeah, I think we have learned this through the years. And when I say through the years, siguro mga 10 years since we are within the younger set. And I also would like to highlight that we are, I think, we are the generation that is born into a democratic political framework, and we are still engaging within the democratic political framework. But as what I was saying earlier, I think it's important for us to recognize the role and the function of dissent. Yung parang hindi nakakasama ng loob o hindi nakakasama ng tingin kung sa ating apat. For example, may dalawa sa atin na hindi nagkakaintindihan or may isa sa atin na may opposing view on a particular matter.
I think yun yung maganda sa democracy kasi bawat isa sa atin ay tinitignan bilang may equal na kakayahan, equal na freedom to express what we think and what we want to express, no? And in that sense, it demands a higher level or kumbaga mas active na participation mula sa public, no? Kasi again, maganda yung nabanggit mo kanina, Ma'am Cassie, na democracy is an activity and one of the ways ay through voting. Pero we have to rethink that, no? And to challenge that idea that democracy is limited only to our kakayahan to vote for people in power. Kasi it's more than that. When we say we are engaging in a democratic practice, or we are exercising our rights in a democracy, there are a lot of responsibilities attached to those rights. Yung nabanggit kanina, dissent, the ability to go against or kontrahin kung ano yung sinasabi o kung may papatupad na batas. We have to have a voice in that because essentially it is us who voted those people in power, who voted those lawmakers. So we have to have a say, we have to have a voice in every step, in every aspect that happens in our society.
Medyo mag-off tangent lang din ako doon sa kung saan na tayo papunta. Actually, yung pagsali ko sa topic ay may kinalaman din talaga sa yun nga, regarding participation kasi, regarding yung dissent, ganun. I never hid the fact that I'm a Christian, di ba? Sa division. Talagang very vocal ako dyan. Yung pagsali ko dito sa topic na to at sa diskursong ito ay to somehow represent a minority view sa amin kung tutusin. Kasi usually, laging sasabihin, you submit to authorities, ganyan. Pero yun nga nandito tayo sa isang democratic country. Tapos, at the same time, yun nga, para bang ang biruan nga namin ay kung tutusin, nandito pa sa lupa, parang nasa langit na. Kumbaga, parang wala na talagang pakialam. Whereas, kailangan talaga kailangan makialam, kailangan ma-involve, kailangan to always demand for checks and balances, yung ganung bagay. So for example, again, ulitin ko lang, my Christian inclination is really into that Christian activism and dissenting.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about how much spaces do we have with deliberation and dissent.
Yeah.
Because usually we are bombarded with a lot of ideas and a lot of images through social media and of course through other multimedia sources. But as I was listening to Sir V, inisip ko, saan nga ba personally saan ko nilalabas ang aking mga experiences single sa civil and political engagement. I am fortunate because I am part of the academe. So the university is still a good space, I think, and a safe space for dissent and a lot of issues and discussions coming from there. And again, I'm fortunate because I have a family that also fosters a space wherein deliberation is also a value. But as I was listening to everyone, saan pa kaya mga espasyo kung saan deliberation is valued and where deliberation is practiced?
Ako, siguro I would say, since we're on that topic of how do we practice dissent mismo, gusto ko lang din munang idagdag na when we speak of dissent, when we speak of criticism, no, it's not about doing dissent for dissent's sake. Criticism for criticism's sake.
I agree.
Ang isang linya nga sa mga aktivista ay parang sino ba narinig ko ito mula sa isang first quarter storm survivor nung martial law. Parang sabi niya, sino bang aktivista yung gustong yung mga anak niya ay aktivista pa rin? In the sense na hindi sa ayaw niyang maging aktivista yung anak niya, no? Pero rather sana natapos na yung mga problema nung earlier forms, no? And criticism is done for the sake of improvement. And improvement, yung voice na nilalaan natin for that kind of improvement, becomes amplified in certain spaces, like in the academe. No, pero even beyond the academe, there are spaces that can exist. At usually, yung spaces na ito, pinaglalaban mismo ng mga people who are dissenting. So, very useful and very critical for dissent and criticism yung organization or any organizations, whether that be political organizations or grassroots organizations, things that you have a common cause with, kasi yun naman yung organisasyon, diba? Meron kayong common na patutunguhan, and if that wants to criticize something about, say, the government because it's not doing enough for them as actual stakeholders and as actual citizens, parang karapatan nila yon. Whether that be in a space that was already mandated as safe, no, katulad ng mga public park at ng academe, or space na nire-reclaim mismo ng mga
Oh, yeah.
people who are creating them.
That's
Like,
right.
yeah, in the church, no, and student organizations, importante na at the core of democratic dissent, at the core of democratic criticism, is this idea na tungkol pa rin siya sa democracy. Hindi siya tungkol sa view ng isang tao lang. Tungkol
Yeah.
siya sa view ng someone that represents a significant number within that. So, maybe we create some of those spaces for ourselves.
And that voice that tries to represent yung iba is geared towards the public good anyway, no? So, kailangan nga nating i-challenge yung ideya na when you dissent or criticize, ay kinakalaban mo ang gobyerno o hindi ka tumutulong. Kasi they sometimes say na when you criticize, you're not being helpful. Dumadagdag ka sa problema. But the
Lalo
thing
sa context
is,
ko.
oh, di ba, sir? So,
Pag ako ay maingay, kumbaga, kasi nga Christian ako,
But
tapos
how do you deal with it? With that type of experience?
Madalas kong sinasabi na actually yung reading natin of the scripture is somewhat not flattened out with the society and culture na meron tayo. Kung tutusin niya, sabi ko, well, as we confess, for example, that Jesus is Lord, we should situate that in that context na yung early Christian expansion is under Roman occupation na kung tutuusin, they were hailing that Caesar is Lord. So, kumbaga, it's now a new world order. Jesus is Lord. Kumbaga, parang gano'n. So, ako, yun yung pinagagalingan ko lalo pagka nag-uusapan na yun. Pero, nakakiyata si Ma'am Yula, sorry.
No, it's okay. Parang
Oh.
maganda rin na nabanggit yun kasi isa naman talaga sa mga malalaking institutions in our society that shape minds and values ay yung church, yung religion. So we have to, I guess, find that balance wherein we are able to align our faith-based values and beliefs dun sa ating democratic responsibilities. Hindi dapat sila magtutunggali. We have to use the virtues, the values we learn from our scriptures for the public good, for the betterment of society. And you will see na a lot of development, a lot of changes come because of questions, because of criticism, because we shared our voice to speak for something that matters to us. And
Yeah.
that's how it's supposed to go, because this is a democracy. And the time where there is no more voice, that there are no more, there's no more activism, na wala na nag-organize, that is the death of a democracy.
Yeah.
You know, a democracy is lively and is kicking and it's, you know, that it's there when there are people who criticize, people who question, people who organize. These are essential and crucial aspects of a democratic society.
Yeah, that's right. I also agree with that. And actually, just to add with that discussion that we feel or we are anchoring in the belief that democracy is alive in the country, is that how about other sectors in our society right now who are, well, we could not really stop ourselves from feeling that there is a little bit of a problem with how we view the future in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And some of us, some of the other groups in the country are actually leaning towards the attitude of defeatism. And for some, and either it's because of the defeatist attitude that they no longer want to be part of the political engagement, or there is really another attitude which is that of being apathetic and apolitical with
Yeah.
our political engagement. What do we think with that?
Sa tingin ko, democracy is in the first place undermined pagka may mga nagwi-withdraw eh. Kasi ang characteristic ng democracy ay yung plurality eh. Pag hindi na-represented ang isang sector, kumbaga, kailangan mo i-represent yun eh. Kailangan mo ipasok yung sarili mo doon para din ba maging boses ka kung ano mang nire-represent.
Tying it back din dun sa isang central idea natin na democracy demands active participation. No? Yung defeatism kasi na nararamdaman ng iba, I'm sure marami sa mga kabataan actually, na parang wala naman ng pag-asa yung Pilipinas eh, ganyan. They have some options na ina-explore. Merong, sige, lipat na lang ako ng ibang bansa, ganyan.
Yeah, that's right.
Or another option is, okay, sige, maghintay na lang tayo hanggang dun sa susunod na elections. No?
Yeah.
I-set natin yung stage for the next set of elections. Pero what we're trying to discuss here, yung active participation nga, yung the current administration got there not because they won overnight. Eh. It was a
Yes.
very long campaign that led them to where they are
And
now.
political machinery.
And
too.
political machinery, no? So, if we are to counter that, if we are to hope na parang meron tayong maipapalag doon, we need to exhaust all avenues na meron tayo and the time na dinededicate natin. Hindi para maghintay ng susunod na election,
Yeah.
but to make sure that when the next election comes, the people we are prepared to represent. No? And that comes nga in organizing, no, in continuous engagement. No? Marami sa mga victories natin lately actually nanggaling sa collective na pag-iingay natin bilang mga mamamayan. Say, for example, some budgets
Yes.
in our general appropriations na medyo questionable kung
Yeah.
saan papunta. No? I think a significant part of how that was blocked is because a lot of Filipino people were really engaging with the subject matter. Nakatatawanan sa atin pag sinabing confidential funds.
Yes, exactly.
When we speak of advertisements that adopt the same slogan para lang i-popularize siya, mas nakikita na, okay, they can't get away with it. They
Yeah.
can't just get away with it. So, kailangan siyang i-engage ng patuloy.
But just support to that, I was actually surprised that the clamor coming from social media and other sectors of society had actually pushed some good action from some sectors of the government. And the other thing is that, well, there's really, humor can really be a good vehicle for political mobilization and engagement. Because actually, di ba? I mean, personally, sometimes when I look at social media, I just see memes and stuff. But in this particular aspect, the generation of memes and the use of humor through political engagement was actually successful. So that was surprising, yeah, but I was also thankful for that.
I think that's one of the ways in which we see na ang ating democratic responsibility, it doesn't need a specific or a definite space in which we engage upon dissent and criticism. Kahit saan siya, no? Even in social media, in our social groups. So, nandun yung process lagi of criticism and correction, the attempt to correct the practices and views that we deem wrong, no? Kaya mahalaga rin in a democracy to always pursue truth as well, no?
Yeah.
Nakaangkla dapat siya dun sa goal din ng pamimilosopiya at ng pagtatanong na kailangan nakaangkla siya sa tunay na nangyayari, tunay na nakikita natin sa realidad. No? Kasi if there is a problem in truth and information in a democracy, it is doomed.
Yes.
Yun nga
I agree.
yung socio-political condition natin ngayon, na masasabi natin post-truth culture. Tapos we're now talking about democracy. Paano nga ba natin navigate yun? No? Yung, na nasa post-truth culture tayo. Tapos, anyway, naisip ko lang. Just in passing.
I actually remembered one of the activities that we also did with the division pertaining to truth-telling. But again, I like the idea. For me, it's very liberating to talk about what is the truth and how truth is related to democracy, because I think the act of asking question is already reflective and at the very least reflective of one's practice of freedom. Because in a way, I feel that we understand that when we cannot ask questions, kung may mga tinatago, hindi kayang sagutin, medyo nararamdaman natin, nakikita na, parang hindi yata ito ang isang galaw ng isang malayang individual. So, I think it's also important for us to highlight the significance of truth-telling, the value of truth, and also that of freedom. Lalong-lalo na rin yun there's the repressions that is happening with these freedoms that na tinatamas natin.
That's why we need a sustained effort, no? Kasi katulad nung nababanggit din ni Sir Jet kanina, hindi election lang ang laban. Kung gusto talaga nating makamit kung ano yung totoo, kung gusto nating kalabanin ang disinformation, if we want to go against the troll farms and political machineries, we have to do our part in being there and doing our responsibility, our civic responsibilities. Kasi when you become defeatist, parang pinapabayaan mo na rin talaga ang sarili mo.
Yeah.
No? Kasi ikaw rin ang apektado dun sa society na yun because you're part of it.
No? Yeah. I agree.
Na-realize ko, defeatist din pala yung mga pinagagalingan ng mga nagkikriticize sa akin. Kumbaga, we have heaven when we die. kumbaga, they hope for our heaven lang din ba?
Yeah, but we are not saying that it's not the attitude that all of us should
yun
feel.
yan.
But we acknowledge that there is defeatism. It is an attitude that some sectors of our society has been feeling. And in a way, there's validity. Since I like the question of Yula, and I think yesterday it's a question that I've been thinking since yesterday. What is it like to live a good life in a healthy democratic society? And I was thinking of it within the context of the Philippines. So maybe as a synthesis, siguro, what do we think? How can we integrate our conceptualizations on democracy, our experience as Filipino, in hope of being of living in a healthy democratic society?
I would think philosophically, how we understand democracy, yung core essence, it should really be about serving the people. It should be serving the citizens of democracy. Once hindi na-achieve yung purpose na yun, doon tayo may karapatan na mag-criticize, mag-dissent. Lalo sa nangyayari ngayon wherein some of our freedoms are being repressed. There has been a certain amount of censorship sa media and the press. May mga stories na hindi pinapakita pero actual na nangyayari. Yung paglaban natin para dun sa kahit sa visibility, it starts with the visibility and then it goes on until we amass enough people and support para whether it comes to the next elections or it can change before that because of a critical mass movement, ganyan. As long as the people rightfully participate in that, I believe that that's working towards the essence of democracy. That's hopeful in Philippine context.
Ako naman siguro, parang na rin sa ating mga nasa academe. Yung naalala ko lang yung article ni Sir Bomen Guillermo towards Philippine Studies Scholarship. Kumbaga, nagbigay siya ng halimbawa yung mga indigenous movements, kung tayong pananaw, Psikolehiyang Pilipino, Pilipinolahiya. Kumbaga, medyo stayed on their ivory towers. Kumbaga, siguro sana tayo as, kumbaga, masasabi naman natin na public intellectuals na rin tayo at teaching in the university. Wow, public intellectuals. Pero yun, tuturo tayo. Kumbaga, baba tayo sa ivory towers natin. Kumbaga, for active engagement. Kasi, ulitin ko, undermine ang democracy kung hindi represented ang academia.
I think in a democracy, we consider having a good life by knowing and understanding na every individual should have a voice. And in instances wherein nakikita natin na pinipigilan ang kanyang boses o humihina ang kanyang boses, ang good life ay yung maaasahan mo na kasangga kumbaga kakampi mo ang kapwa Pilipino para tulungan kang maibalik ang boses na sa iyo naman. No? So mahalaga kasi na napapractice in a democracy kung ano talaga yung mga totoong rights and freedoms natin. Because how it is practiced now is somehow kulang o questionable. No? There are certain elements which make us question na ito nga ba talaga ito. No? So, if we are going to imagine a good life in a democracy, it is where every individual has that power. Pero at the same time, that power comes with a duty, a responsibility to be a contributing, participating member of society.
Yeah, I agree. Ako naman, just my takeaway is that apparently there is, it's not that there is hope because of this discussion, but we can carve expressions of hope within a democracy. So I think that was the shining insight that I got from everyone's discussion today, and I think that's very important as a payan or as a resolution to the defeatism that we had talked about earlier, and also maybe to the apathy some of us might have
Yeah,
already
the
felt.
apoliticism.
And
Yeah.
apoliticism, yeah.
Yung pagiging apolitical ng mga tao.
So I think we can continue this discussion outside or within other spaces that we are part of, since we said that we are engaging with the democratic practices within and outside the academe. So we are excited that we continue the discussion outside of the university and outside of our academic institutions, and we hope that everyone can also add their insights into this. Thank you very much. Again, I'm Cassie from the UPLB Philosophy Division.
Sir Jetro from the UPLB Philosophy Division.
B.
And Eula Blanco from Philodiv.